The Podsters, Episode 7.
It's the Podsters, Episode 7.
I can't believe we made it this far.
Yeah, I am so excited. I can't believe that we've even considered doing a podcast for today.
Well, it's Sunday. Sunday fun day.
Yeah, Sunday fun day.
You brought up a good question earlier, which is, who are the Podsters?
Yeah, who are the Podsters? I know we are the Podsters, as in we're broadcasting or whatever. We're podcasting this out to people and to our listeners, but are our listeners?
I think everybody
are
involved
they the Podsters?
Are Podsters.
Everybody involved.
Everybody who supports us, everybody who listens, everybody who checks in on Facebook, everybody who comments and participates. All of us are the Podsters. People who like to stir shit up.
Yes. Yeah, I like that
explanation.
I like that explanation.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say, because without our fans and our listeners, we wouldn't be here.
Yeah. So thanks to all our listeners, everybody who comments. Thanks to our friends and family for supporting the Podsters.
Stirring shit up since 2017.
So I have to start off real quick with the bullshit of the week. And I have to say that it's the bullshit of the week because we are doing this weekly, not bi-weekly. Yay! But my bullshit of the week is the Tide Pod Challenge.
Bullshit. Bullshit. Bullshit.
And I have to thank one of our listeners for actually bringing this up to me because I didn't know. And that I think is part of a generation gap.
I think so.
I have to say.
I think older farts like us aren't really paying too much attention to all these challenges. Because Tide Pod Challenge is one thing, and there was a big, what was it called?
There was an ice bucket challenge, but that one I have to give credit to because they did it to raise money. I know some people kind of like went a little overboard in the whole challenge, but it did raise money.
But what I'm saying is that those are kind of challenges that we know of, the ones that make it, for good or bad, that they kind of make headlines somehow.
Yeah.
But there's tons of challenges that we don't know about and the younger generations know about and partake in.
Yeah, and where I work, it was a coworker who said, we need to talk about the Tide Pod Challenge, and I was like, what the hell is that?
Don't look at me. I don't even know what it is. So
apparently the Tide Pod Challenge is where somebody is challenged to put a Tide Pod, those little...
Hold on, but back up. These challenges, what? I just come up with a challenge and tell you to do it, or how does it work?
Apparently that's how it works. It's like somebody...
So it's not on social media?
It is more of a social media thing than anything.
Okay, so some moron comes up with something stupid to do,
because
and then they post it.
Because it would be cool to, post yourself biting into a Tide Pod.
That's what I mean. So it's like a social media thing where one moron comes up with something stupid and then a bunch of blind mice follows along because they want to be recognized.
I want to say it's something more like that.
Oh, okay.
And so, yeah, that's basically what it is. People are challenging each other to put a Tide Pod in their mouth and bite down in it. That
sounds smart.
I don't understand the logic. I know there's no logic, but who in their right mind would do something like that?
When I was a kid, my parents, and I think all our parents, told us to not eat detergent.
Yeah, but I don't know if it was popular over there in Sweden as it was here. I never got that. My parents never threatened me with soap in the mouth as a punishment.
Yeah, if you cussed and said fuck, shit, cunt, and things like that.
Then you get a bar of soap in your mouth, which my parents were old school. If we pissed them off, if we did something bad, we were going to get spanked. That's a whole nother topic.
That's a different topic.
For a different week.
Bullshit of the week, the Tide Pod Challenge.
Yeah. So, I guess people don't seem to be afraid of putting soap in their mouth because of the people that were punished as children to put soap in their mouth when they did something bad or whatever for their punishment.
I would say that our challenge of the week is to get our listeners to comment in on why would you do such a thing?
Yeah, I don't understand why anybody would, but...
Comment on Facebook or email us at thepodsters@gmail.com.
Yes, do that. And also, I know there was the cinnamon challenge. It doesn't seem so bad, but it actually can hurt people to do the cinnamon challenge.
What else was there? It was like the Sprite banana challenge.
Oh, I have no idea what that is.
You're supposed to eat a banana and then gulp down one of those, what are they, like half-gallon things of Sprite?
Okay, like a liter of Sprite, or 2 liters of Sprite.
And of course the result is you fucking puke like nobody's business.
Oh my god, well...
If we have any younger listeners, I seriously want to know, do you guys think it's funny to watch that shit? Has the whole Jackass just gone overboard? Because I thought it was ridiculous and retarded when they first started doing it. Is that how you guys show off you're being cool?
Yeah, that's definitely a generational thing, because I don't recall...
I don't even get it. Dude, seriously, I really want to hear from our younger listeners. Do you guys sit and watch that and laugh about it, or what is it?
Younger as in anybody younger than, let's say...
Probably younger than, I don't know, 30?
30? Well, let's even go up to 35, because... that's basically...
Oh, the hipster generation.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, hipsters, let us know. I don't even find it funny. I don't even find it funny to sit and watch some moron try to chow down on a Tide thing, or eat cinnamon, or have a banana and drink Sprite. It's not funny. And if you're doing it, you're a fucking retard. Get a life.
Yeah, I maybe kids are just bored these days. They're so bored because they're so inundated and overwhelmed with crap that's on
so if
on
you're
TV,
bored, you decide to just do
games.
something stupid and self-destructive. I don't buy into that. We were bored when we were kids too. We invented things. It was called punk rock.
Oh, excuse me, at least... Yeah. Excuse me, Mr. Punk Rock.
No,
yeah,
but my point is that everybody's excuse these days is, oh, they're bored. Yeah, we were bored as fuck too. And instead of just sitting around doing stupid shit, we tried to get together and do something somewhat constructive.
Yeah, so I guess it would... Coming from the standpoint of somebody who doesn't have children, and I'm not telling anybody how to raise their kids or whatnot, but coming from my point of view, I'd have to say that if my kid is constantly getting into trouble because they're just bored, then that means they need to do some extracurricular activities, get them to do chores or something, because, you know, it's kind of like what they say... Or it's like the saying, idle hands are the devil's playground.
Yeah, but this isn't even... Here's the thing with this. This isn't even getting into proper trouble. This is just moronic.
Yeah, I mean, that's just what it is.
So fucking dumb. My challenge will be for all of you to eat a cup of pepper. It's the pepper challenge.
No,
you heard it first on the Podsters.
Don't do it. I'm telling you not to do it.
Oh, don't spoil the fun. I wanted to see how many gullible dumb fucks were out there. My hope was that nobody would do it, but...
See, that was just a reaction. That was like a reflex for me to say, don't do it, because I know that there's somebody out there that will actually take us seriously.
Yeah, seriously, don't do it. Don't do any of these stupid challenges. The one exception, I do agree, because it was raising money for a good cause, would be the ice bucket challenge.
Yeah. If you come up with a challenge like that, or, you know, challenge a friend to walk an extra mile a day or something.
Right,
or
but there we come again. That's constructive. That's doing something constructive. But all this, like, I don't know, eat mustard, bite into Tide Pods, eat some rat poison, whatever it is. Don't do it, seriously.
Yeah, and then,
but I still want to hear
are...
from somebody that does this. Why? Why do you do it?
You know, I have to say that there are video games out there too, or some kind of apps that like tell kids to commit suicide and stuff.
I was gonna go there, but then I couldn't remember what they were called. It was
I don't know the name of the apps.
Was it like the Dark Man app?
Oh, I don't know. It was some weird like unicorn app. I don't know.
Yeah, stuff like that.
Don't put me on that. It was just some weird stuff out there. So just watch what your kids are doing.
And kids, think for yourself for 2 seconds. Don't do stupid stuff like that. The podsters totally call bullshit on all these challenges.
Yes. It's amazing, really.
So our next segment has to do with something. Did you find it on our lovely neighborhood Facebook page?
Yes. I try to avoid this page as much as possible, but sometimes my curiosity gets the best of me, so I go onto our little group page on Facebook and start reading some of the posts, and I noticed that one of the housewives, I'm not even gonna go there with the name that I call them because I don't want to get in trouble. I mean, I'm pretty sure people in our neighborhood already hate us anyways because we're so... I would have to say truthfully blunt on that page. But anyways, so she reposted something that a mother had posted on one of those moms' Facebook groups or whatever. She was upset because she was complaining because her kid was walking to school.
It was 2 kids, right? It was two brothers, I think.
Yeah, it was 2 kids walking to school. Whatever, some man in a truck offered them a ride to school.
Let's hold off because the weather here when this was posted was really cold, rainy, and nasty.
Yeah, it was an actual winter.
It was
week.
Real winter week for sure.
Yeah. So I have to say that sometimes when I'm driving along and I see a kid walking on the side of the road, I get a little bit nervous for that kid for the fear of maybe somebody actually picking them up, or for maybe they might get run over somehow. They might get hit.
Well,
so
and then
I see it and I'm like,
winter days, what happens too when we drive around is that there we are and it's about 34 degrees and rain.
Yeah.
You look at me and say, we should really stop and ask if they need a ride. And I just keep driving.
Yeah.
Because I have a feeling that to me, in today's society,
we would end up on that post.
That is not being a good deed. That would be called out as some sort of child molester or possible kidnapping.
Yeah.
So, back to the post. What happened with the post?
I think that's basically it. I can't remember if there
That's exactly what happened. She was warning other parents, and she was also upset that this, what are they called? The traffic police by the school.
The crossing guards.
Yeah,
and
the
stuff
crossing guards hadn't noticed
It's actually,
this.
they're the sheriff's department goes out there to direct traffic because it gets pretty hairy around
Right, and one of these nasty days, I guess what happened was 2 brothers were walking, and they were really close to that crossing guard, and a man in a pickup truck stopped and asked if they needed a ride. The boys got scared and ran off, and this mom, A, wanted to warn everybody, and B, she wanted to complain that the crossing guard hadn't caught that.
Yeah, for one, that crossing guard is too busy directing busy traffic.
And for 2, it's great that people are cautious and telling their kids to not take candy from strangers, so to speak.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, too, like, what we were talking to, if that was actually a child molester, I don't think he would have tried to pick up 2 kids at the same time and
in
not
front of a
in
school.
front of a school with a crossing guard.
Yeah.
I think that was a dad who had either dropped his kids off or gone to pick them up and saw these poor freezing kids and, as a good Samaritan, tried to offer them a ride.
Yeah, and I totally want to give these kids a ride sometimes, but I am, for fear of being talked about on one of these, mom's Facebook pages, I don't want to be that quote unquote pervy person that's trying to pick up kids. No, I'm just trying to make sure that the kid is safe, because you obviously aren't there to take your kid to and from school. That's just how I see it.
No, and I totally agree, because
I mean,
it has happened. But what was that one day? Some little girl was walking around barefoot in the cold.
Yeah.
And you were all like, oh, we should really stop and ask if she needs a ride or help. And I just kept driving because, like you said, I do not want to be on either mom's Facebook page or police page.
Yeah.
Where, this pervy man in a car stopped and asked the girl to jump in the car kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I think it's a good discussion topic, guys. Where do we draw the line of being cautious and good Samaritan?
Yeah, when it comes to kids, it's a bit different.
Yeah, but the same goes with women too. A woman stranded on the side of the road. When is it appropriate to stop and approach and not? Because there's been instances with that too where bad things have happened. I just think it's we're not saying that this is wrong or we're not calling bullshit on it. We just want a discussion of when is it pervy and when is it a good deed? Because as in today's society, no, but when are you supposed to stop?
Yeah. It's hard to,
ask somebody
offer
if they need
help.
assistance or offer help. Because on one hand, we all are, including us, very cautious, very alert. What's that person doing creeping around? Mm-hmm. On the other hand, if I'm stranded on the highway, which has happened with a flat tire, you get angry because nobody stops.
Right.
But with all this going on and everybody is cautious, maybe that's how our cautiousness has got it, that there is no real help from other people than 911 to get.
Right. Sometimes it's better left to the professionals, but, in other instances when someone is in dire need of help, I would hope that somebody would be there to help them.
Yeah, for sure. But that's what I'm saying. It's that it's become a catch-22 of we're so cautious that everything is dangerous. But on the other hand, when we're stranded and in need of help, we kind of get upset that nobody stopped to help. Mm-hmm. So where do we draw the line, guys? Post a comment or email.
Let us know.
Yes, please. I have a story because...
Well, wait a minute.
Oh, I'm waiting a minute.
So, never mind. The moment's passed. I don't think it's going to work.
We don't have an wait segment this week. And I think we need to come up with some new jingles. Because I have a little segment on consumers.
Uh-oh. Oh, Lordy, Lordy,
Lord.
Lord.
Oh, help us. No, but it's been coming up a little bit over the past couple of weeks where, on one hand, we ask you guys to participate, to comment, and to be active. And except for a little core group doing just that, it's still very much passive consumption of the podsters. So that's part one of this thing. Number two is that it happens all the time, but a couple of times these past weeks, people have had bad experiences being consumers. Like somebody ordered something to go and they paid extra for jalapenos. The jalapenos wasn't there. They got upset.
Yeah.
I was doing a project and it said to use a 1/4-inch drill and everything should work fine. And the dowelings that I used that was supposed to be for 1/4-inch sure as shit wasn't manufactured correctly. That being said, let's get on the company side first. And how companies really operate today is a topic for a different podcast. But once upon a time, basically a corporation started with a person or a couple of persons thinking that they had a great idea. And they built a company where they took pride in their products or services, and off they went. They made a lot of money, and their workers felt somewhat safe, secure, even though they didn't become millionaires. It was a steady job, and everything was okay. Mm-hmm. Then came the whole big fad of, let's go public. And that pretty much means that part of the responsibility disappears, because instead of having a real owner, there's a board of directors. And for instance, today, in very many cases, your CEO or vice president of a company, they actually don't own the company. It's a title and a position they have. And if you look, they tend to hold several positions in different companies in these boards of directors. Mm-hmm. That responsibility with going public is kind of gone. You don't have like a one guy or a family that knows their employees. It's already removed a step. And then it started becoming popular maybe 10 years ago to do this asinine thing where everything is done on a quarterly basis and you're expected to turn bigger profits every quarter. That's all these companies are after, more and more and more.
Yeah.
And part of how to do that is to get rid of skilled labor. Pay people less. They, in order to meet things, they cut down on benefits or feel-good things for their employees. You see a lot of temp agencies today, for instance. Mm-hmm. So high season, you hire people. They are worried and upset, how long can I stay here? And finally, they're let go. That also leads to less quality because people are either overworked or they don't get paid enough to care about their jobs.
I see that happening a lot.
Yeah,
lately.
It's common.
I mean, it's everywhere.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. This is generally speaking. It goes from anything from UPS, who we already named, the shitty company. I mean, they can't deliver on time if they even deliver, and when they deliver broken things. Mm-hmm. You have companies to take a high-end product, or it used to be Gibson guitars, where a standard Les Paul guitar costs $2,000, which is a lot of money for anyone. Mm-hmm. If you buy a product for that price, granted, different guitar players prefer to set their guitars differently, but you would expect a flawless instrument that you could play out of the box. Maybe not to your preference, but you should plug and play.
Oh, yeah. For $2,000, it better... Up. Oh, yeah. It better...
And that's not the case today. That their quality is horrible. For $2,000 today, you get an instrument that should be probably worth about $400. Sharp frets, electrical stuff not working, simply because they've gone from taking pride in what they do and making decent money out of it to increase profit every quarter.
Yeah, appease the shareholders and stuff.
Those are two examples, but this happens everywhere. Mm-hmm. And I was thinking about it because it is really annoying when it happens. And then it hit me, we as consumers, you guys that passively consume us, you don't tell us what you like. You don't tell us that you're upset. And I think that's the way we have to deal with these companies. We have to start speaking up for ourselves. That's my point with this segment. As in, no matter how ridiculous it is, you go through the drive-thru, you order a combo and an extra cheeseburger. You didn't get the extra cheeseburger.
But you still paid for it.
You still paid for it.
And you've already driven off. You're probably already home.
Yes, but then...
And then you realize that, hey, I didn't get my cheeseburger.
Right, or you order food from a place that says comes with tortillas. You order extra tortillas and you get none. Don't be passive about it. Don't be angry and tell your friends or coworkers. Don't just post a little blurb on your Facebook page. The only way we can get these companies to shape up and deliver what they promise, because that's another thing too with all these profits. They overpromise when they sell us stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And it's blatant overpromising. But to me, it's like this. As a consumer, I don't give a shit if you lie to me. If you tell me that you have 2-day shipping, that means I get my stuff on day 2, not day 5 or 10. Speak up. Get with the companies. No matter how embarrassing people might think it is, I've taken this into start complaining. And I know it seems stupid, but the thing is, these companies, I'm sure that some of them don't even know how bad their quality of product is. Mm-hmm. As an honest, I had no idea. And some of them will have the mentality of, hey, you guys don't complain to us, so we don't give a shit. We can obviously sell you faulty products because you don't come back to us.
Them. It's either you're consuming them or you're not reporting it and you go back and buy the same thing.
Over and over again. My thing for this year is no more of that. And I urge you listeners to do the same thing.
Speak up.
Speak up. You didn't get your tortillas. You call up and say, you ruined my meal. And the reason Michelle is laughing is because I actually did that. There's a place we go to order takeout. And 3 times in a row, we didn't get their tortillas. And finally, I had enough. So I actually called, demanded to speak to a manager who actually was, I think, one of those honestly surprised I had no idea that this has ever happened. Mm-hmm. And I told him, look, it's happened 3 times. I'm sure it happens to everyone, but you ruined my meal. No, I'm not going to go there and get my tortillas. You can either get in your car and hand deliver them to me or refund me my meal. I will do the same thing with the company that sold the dolls. You can either just refund me my $2.92, because it's not really about the money. It's a small chunk of change here and there. But it's a matter of principle. Yeah. I'm not just going to tell you, look, I had an issue with this, and let some underpaid customer service representative tell me that they apologize profusely. No. From now on, you fucking refund me then. You deliver me a faulty product, or you don't deliver your product on time. Whatever it is, refund me my fucking money. You guys, we need to start speaking up. That is the only way these companies will realize that we're not fools. They can't take us for a ride anymore. They need to get back to integrity and quality.
Yes.
And like I said, more of how these companies are run with their quarterly profits and stuff will be later. But for now, guys, speak up. Don't be a passive consumer. I think that's it for today, guys.
Yeah, this was a short one for sure. I thought we had a little bit more to talk about, but I guess not.
No, but the bonus is that instead of getting your full 30 minutes bi-weekly, you're getting close to 30 minutes weekly. So in a sense, you're getting 100% more than before.
For free.
For free. Tell your friends and family to join the Podster Nation.
Yeah, definitely let your friends know about us. If you like to listen to us, then obviously your friends who are like-minded would be interested in listening to us. So don't forget, you can find us on YouTube,
SoundCloud, Podbeans, and Buzzsprout.
Yes, because I'm not going to say that anymore. And that's all at .com. Or, never mind, just cut that out. It's been grand.
It's been a pleasure, guys, as always.
And don't forget, let us know what you think.
Yes, email us. Comment on Facebook.
Any ideas for topics to discuss? If you'd like to know what we think about certain things, let us know. We're here to listen and to comment.
And to blab your ears off.
Yeah, something like that.
Till next week, guys. Have a good week. This is Chris signing off.
Bye, guys.
Goodbye from Mellis.
Puss och kram.